There is a moment when I realize winners are not louder or luckier, just clearer with a single guiding thought. Most people grind forward on autopilot, reacting to noise, never questioning the software running inside their head. I feel that tension too, the tug to rush, to prove, to please, before my mind has actually chosen. Then I breathe, and I notice the gap where choice lives, small and bright, like frost catching morning light. In that space, the average mind panics and fills silence with motion, mistaking movement for momentum and control. The winner lets the silence grow, like a winter horizon over water, holding still until the truth appears. He understands discipline as attention, not punishment, and trains one thought until it becomes a stable northern star. That thought is simple and sovereign. I decide my meaning first, then my action, then my outcome follows. I used to think mindset meant posters and slogans, something loud and temporary, not a strategy of substance. But the more I looked, the more I saw thought behaves like capital, flowing where the system permits. If my first thought is scarcity, every choice becomes defensive, small, and brittle, afraid of imagined loss. If my first thought is design, every choice becomes precise, generous, and calm, expanding options with quiet inevitability. Winners do not chase confidence. They architect it by aligning expectation with evidence and continuous, honest feedback loops. They move from principle, not pressure, selecting the upstream decision that dissolves 10 downstream problems before they exist. This is leverage at the mental level, invisible to crowds who worship effort while ignoring cognitive architecture completely. The point is not to think positively, but to think correctly, cleanly, and consistently under both praise and pressure. When uncertainty rises, I ask one essential question before anything else. What is the most accurate next frame? Not the easiest or most exciting frame, but the frame that clarifies incentives, risk, timing, and required energy. I map the field, then choose the smallest decisive action that compounds, even when applause is absent or delayed. Winners respect compounding like seasons, trusting small aligned moves to accumulate into undeniable outcomes over thoughtful time. Average minds treat attention like a faucet, turned fully open, flooding every surface with distraction and comparison. Winners treat attention like currency, allocated intentionally, with buffers, margins, and reserves for opportunities worth pursuing. They guard mornings like equity, shaping their first thought before the world rents space inside their head. They understand the cost of cognitive clutter, and they audit it ruthlessly, removing obligations that dilute strategic direction. I do not need louder ambition, I need quieter standards, written in my calendar, bank account, and daily environment. My wardrobe, desk, and digital spaces speak louder than speeches because they remove friction and cue my desired identity. When the world accelerates, I deliberately decelerate, so discernment can arrive intact, unburned by urgency or vanity. Calm is not slowness. Calm is controlled speed, aligned with reality, refined by intention, protected by boundaries. There were years I mistook drama for depth, chasing difficult paths to feel worthy of eventual success. Now I prefer elegant paths that solve the correct problem once, without applause, because elegance compounds quietly. I choose constraints that liberate execution, like focusing on one platform, one offer, one asset class, one channel. Through constraint, my thinking sharpens and my results become cleaner, because attention saturates instead of evaporates uselessly. Winners separate process goals from outcome vanity, celebrating adherence to system while observing results as neutral feedback. They know identity precedes behavior, so they script evidence daily to earn the right to believe differently tomorrow. This is not mystical, it is accounting, with deposits of proof placed into the identity ledger until undeniable. Eventually the ledger pays dividends as effortless action, because the brain prefers behaving like whoever it repeatedly proves. The single fault returns whenever fear arrives. I choose the meaning of this moment before this moment chooses me. Meaning determines emotion. Emotion shapes posture. Posture shifts breath. Breath alters cognition. Cognition drives behavior immediately. So I rehearse meanings that are accurate and empowering, never delusional, always grounded, specific, and controllable by me. From there, I act once, review honestly, adjust publicly if required, and carry forward with unshakable, quiet conviction. I stop asking whether I feel like it, and start asking whether it aligns with my chosen operating principle. I protect sleep, sunlight, movement, and focused blocks as non-negotiable infrastructure because biology funds psychology reliably. I remove fragile motivation triggers and replace them with rituals that launch action regardless of mood or applause received. This is how winners become consistent in storm or sunshine, anchored internally while flexible externally to changing conditions. When comparison whispers, I convert envy into education, extracting process details and discarding narratives about innate superiority. When doubt arrives, I itemize the uncertainty, price it, and purchase progress with controlled exposure instead of paralysis. When boredom appears, I upgrade the challenge or refine the metric, ensuring the game remains worthy of sustained attention. Every sensation becomes a signal, never an order, and I remain the leader of my inner organization deliberately. Stockholm mornings teach this rhythm. Cold air sharpening breath, water steady against stone, light careful across glass. I walk, hands warm in wool, thoughts stripped of decoration, listening for the clearest, next truthful sentence. Inside that sentence lives my entire day, because clarity shrinks the universe to one doable move today. Then I do it, without fanfare, and let compounding do its work while I return to stillness. The rest will chase novelty, volume, and noise, mistaking intensity for intelligence, confusing speed with signal altogether. I will chase accuracy, simplicity, and leverage, stacking small verified edges until they appear like sudden luck. In time, others call it talent, timing, or advantage, but I know it as disciplined first thought. This is the thought that separates winners from the rest, and today, I choose to live it completely.